Abusers of children come from all different walks of life, but this speech will be about child abuse in Texas and even more specifically in Southeast Texas. Have you ever thought about how many children actually live in Texas? Or what about the number of children who reside in our very own area of Southeast Texas? Statistics for child abuse in Texas are overwhelming. Abusers of children come from all different walks of life, so no race or gender is excluded. How many of you can actually look at a child and be able to recognize those subtle signs of abuse? There is help available to everyone, not just the abusers and victims themselves. Websites, programs, and facilities are set up to bring more awareness to communities about child abuse. By being able to recognize child abuse, understand how much it happens in our city and state, and get help to spread child abuse awareness, this plague that has gone on forever can become a thing of the past. In 2001, Texas had 6.6 million children aged from birth to 17, with our area, which is Region 5, having a little over 182,000 children. Statistics show the startling numbers of children who have been abused at the hands of their parents in 2011. Out of Texas's 6.6 million children, there were 65,948 confirmed cases of child abuse. And out of those numbers, our Region 5 had 2,168 confirmed cases of child abuse. Here's a chart that I had printed up for you guys to look at. Beaumont, which is Region 5, here's our number of confirmed victims, which is at 19.6% out of the state. This is where you and I come into the equation. Given the information from just a 12-month span, do you feel like you want to reach out and help? If we all become more aware of the signs of this horrific problem, we can put an end to these poor children's suffering and quite possibly even save a life. Recognition is the first step to putting an end to child abuse. Children sometimes don't know how to express their feelings, so they begin to give signs that something is wrong. It is up to us as adults to pick up on those signs and respond appropriately. Children who begin to act differently or have changes in their behavior may be trying to tell you something without having to say it verbally. A few signs to look for are changes in emotional behavior, returning to less mature or younger behaviors, fear of going home, lack of personal care and hygiene, and changes in eating, sleeping, and school performance or attendance. According to the law in Family Code, Section 261.001(1)D, it says child abuse includes the following acts or omission by a person: failure to make a reasonable effort to prevent an action by another person that results in physical injury that results in substantial harm to the child. If you aren't ethically pulled towards wanting to help out these children in need, would you be willing to do it more now that you know that it's the law? There are so many resources our state and private citizens offer to help all community members be able to recognize and report child abuse. Out of the 2,168 abused children in our area, 2,127 of them were abused by their parents. This means that only 41 cases in this area children were abused by someone other than the people that were taking care of them. Here's a chart that I printed up where you can see all these cases of abuse were done by parents. This would be Arlington, and here's Beaumont right here. Child abuse has become such a problem in our nation and state that teachers are now required to be trained to recognize to prevent child abuse. If we were to pass this knowledge on to all facilities that serve our children, including the children themselves, then numbers would decrease. According to Texas Education Code 38.004 Section 2, states that the agency shall develop and periodically update a training program on prevention of child abuse that a school district may use for staff development. Statistics show that in 2011, school personnel were the #1 source of reported child abuse reports. That doesn't mean that it should stop there. If more facilities would begin to train their staff or members about the signs of child abuse and programs were available for help, then I believe the number of the cases would decline. Not even the victims themselves are reporting it as much as school staff are. Of the 200,000 cases that were reported in Texas, 37,540 of them were reported by teachers, while only 648 of them were reported by the victims. A good way to educate the public is by hosting a community event where a speaker will come and talk to parents, family members, religious leaders, child care workers, and anyone else about the dangers of child abuse. I found several local organizations online that have a great information on setting up these kinds of events or links to information that can be passed out to your facilities. One of those local organizations, which is called Taking Care of Children, offers programs to discuss methods of prevention so that these abusive and violent incidents can be stopped through proactive methods of awareness and education. Through education and awareness, and by being proactive, abusive children can be hindered. It is going to take more than just one person or a particular group of people, like just the teachers, to help and put a stop to this horrible cause. We are all now aware of the statistics of child abuse cases in our area, and we have heard a few signs that children give away when they are being abused. We know how education is key to understanding and reporting these signs, and we know that even here locally, we have many resources shedding light on this horrible crime. I will leave you with a few questions you should be asking yourself. Am I ready to be a warrior for children? If I see a child showing signs of child abuse, will I react to it or will I just blow it off? Well, what would you do?